Hey guys, so this video is going to be about mixing your tattoo pigments and very basic color theory. I also wanted to show specifically that a lot of times it's not a one-to-one ratio. Like you don't want one drop of red plus one drop of yellow to make orange. You really want a lot more yellow. I'll be using Alla Prima pigments, dynamic white, and a single needle to mix with. I always keep 2 boxes of these around, one box of singles to use and 1 box to mix with, just because they're cheap. They're like $10 for the box of 50. So these are my mixers.
And it took off in just this really incredible way.
Okay, so we're going to start out with our primaries.
And General Assembly is really
Just going to lay out the blue, red, and yellow in a triangle.
connecting them with opportunities, with skills, with amazing ideas, with the right people, the right talents. So
I know,
they
it's
can
exciting, right?
pursue work that they love. You know, it's not just about doing what makes money, but it's about doing what hits you here.
And then we're going to put white all around the perimeter. I like mixing white with pretty much everything. White and black are the most opaque. Well, black is ink. Black is the most opaque ink because it's ink. White is the most opaque pigment that we use. So to get anything more opaque, clearly you want to mix it with white to make it lighter. Okay, we're going to start here. I'm going to put 5 drops of red. I try to work in 5s just to keep it uniform. So it's 5 to 2 or 5 to 15, something like that generally. But a lot of these, I'm going to put 5 drops of yellow. A lot of these will be 5 drops to 1 dip rather than a full drop, which means just dip the end of the needle into the color that you want. Get our needle out here. We're going to do 1 dip into the red. It's not even a full drop into those 5 drops of yellow. And that's going to create a pretty nice orange for you. It's more of kind of a bright orange. It's the orange that I generally think of when I want to go for an orange. Same thing here. We're going to do 1 dip of blue into that red. We'll probably need a bit more. I'm trying to make the darkest version here. And this will give you the kind of dark burgundy. So tattoo pigments don't mix exactly the same as paint does. It's similar as long as you know basic color theory and how to do things, you can get where you're going. But if you have experience mixing oil paint or acrylic paint, it's not going to be the exact same. It's going to be very similar. So now we got that deep burgundy going on there. 1 dip of blue into the 5 drops of yellow. And we're going to get a nice bright green. Again, just the type of green that I think of going for. So that's the one that I shoot for most often, is 5 drops of yellow to 1 drop of green, or not even a full drop of green, just a dip into the blue. And we're going to take that burgundy out into a white, just to show you what that's going to look like. It'll be a nice, very light purple. A little pink. I'm going to add some more blue. It's not as dark as I hoped for. Just added another 2 drops of blue actually to the 5 drops of red, which would probably make it 3 drops of blue total after the 2 dips. Again, just trying to get it nice and dark. When we hit the white, it's a little too pink.
The story that I hang on to is that my parents worked with Face Off, right? Like my mom raised 3 kids by herself. None of the amazing.
This is always an experiment when I lay a bunch of ink caps out there. Certain things I know, basic formulas in my mind, but it's always a little bit of experimenting.
I can even see the difference between the way I was brought up and he was
Trying to get that real light purple.
Soviet household, where if you weren't going to get good grades, then you were going to have to work every minute because those were really the 2 options, right? And so, I hold on to the fact that when I asked my mom for Nintendo, she said, "Cool, go get it." And so, all of a sudden, you quickly learn how to sling lemonade, and you figure out how to hustle baseball cards.
Now we've got 5 drops of yellow, and we're just going to do a dip into the green. I probably should have pulled this back on the orange side because this is going to be more yellow than blue, but oh well, it's not what I did.
Into the struggles of not having anything and having a much bigger value around the dollar and stuff, and the process of getting there. It's the process. So I think the struggle is.
So we'll make it darker. 1, 2, 3. 3 drops of blue to the 5 drops of yellow. It's going to get us a nice deep grass green.
Has made you who you are today, and yet, you also are able to provide for your children and your family.
A little more blue.
They're going to do different great things, right? They're not going to have the same kind of game that I had. They're going to do their thing. I have no interest in.
So now we're 1 to 1 actually. 5 drops of blue to 5 drops of yellow.
Look, how many people here are immigrants? Raise your hands. So, wow, amazing.
And we're going over the top. We're going 10 drops of blue to 5 drops of yellow. We're going to make it super dark.
That was not going to be my path. And she disproportionately invested in me becoming the best entrepreneur that I could be at 9, 10, 11, 12.
When you take this super dark green out to the white, you'll get a nice seafoam green.
She allowed me to bet on my strengths, and that's why I'm disproportionately more successful than all those fucking characters. And so I want to do that for my kids. They're not going to be this hungry or this and that. They may look at the mountain that I built and say, screw it, I'm going to climb that. I don't know what they're going to do, but what I'm going to reconcile with is I want to support their natural DNA and their ambitions the way my mom did for me, regardless of how that makes them.
Just keep dipping back and forth until it becomes the color that you want. Okay, that's a pretty nice seafoam. Now we'll go to the more lime green, have much more yellow in it. Bring that out to the white. That'll give you the kind of a yellowy white lime. I don't even know what to call that color, but I like it. I always mix everything with white just to see what it's going to mix out into. I'm not going to do it this time, but I also like to do grays. If I make 2 caps of something, I'll mix a little gray into it as well, kind of mute it out. You can also mute out by using a color on the other side of the color wheel. I just like to play with the grays.
Talked about how when they were young, there was no food, and they would always be hungry. But Malcolm X always had the most.
All right, we're going to do 5 drops of yellow to 5 drops of red. This is going to be the 1-to-1 comparison. And this doesn't really make an orange. It makes more of a really bright red. I actually kind of prefer this red to regular red. So what you would think would be orange, 5 red to 5 yellow, makes a nice bright red. And when you take that color out to white, you get a really nice kind of flesh tone pink. I'm not great at mixing flesh tones, but I can get this one pretty consistently. So 5, 1-to-1 with red and yellow. 5 drops of red, 5 drops of yellow, and then dip it out into a cap of white, and you'll get a nice pinky flesh tone. Go into that original orange, which was much more yellow than red. Pull that out into the white, and you'll get kind of a really yellowy orange. More of kind of a highlight color. I like mixing up all these odd highlight colors. Guess just adding white to everything. Okay, so that was 10 drops of red.
But also being honest with yourself, you know, and so I'm curious, like when you think about honesty and transparency, especially as it relates to the content,
5 drops of blue.
Where does it start?
This is actually going to be the nice, super dark version that I was going for earlier. Again, the colors are going to be out of order because this dark one should have been higher in the color wheel, but it's just an experiment. This, when you bring this really dark mixture, really dark burgundy, out to the white, you're going to get a nice soft purple.
The genesis of my library to me was, this YouTube thing's gonna be really big. I've always wondered what would happen if QVC sold wine. I've always thought that I could really be good at it. Let me do that on this thing called YouTube, because it's free. I can put up the video and it's not gonna cost me anything. I'm gonna do this. So I send one of my stock boys to Best Buy.
These purples are looking a little bit more on the pink side through the camera lens, but it's actually a nice shade of purple.
I'm very nervous because at this point I'm selling $15 to $20 million a year of premium wine to about 3 to 4.
I wish that would show what the color really looks like. But you can see in real life when you do the experiment for yourself. We're going to make another in between.
Because I was this serious thing, right? And so what's really interesting about this story is the following.
Use Elmer's glue to put the ink caps down. It holds them in place a whole lot better than the A&D ointment. Keeps my setup nice and steady.
And something interesting happened, and it's really been the foundation of everything that's happened since. I realized that video would be live forever. And that, even more interestingly, within 1 second
That's a 1-to-1. 5 drops of red to 5 drops of blue. And that's going to give us the kind of violet. It's a nice bluish violet.
I'm gonna taste it, and I'm gonna answer. And if I was trying to peddle wine on the show, or pan a wine on the show, that if I got caught in real life, I would be, right? All the stuff that we're now seeing, like Ashley Madison, you know, like all this stuff, like privacy is dead, right? Like in the way that we've known it, it's gonna be redefined. And so what
5 drops of blue.
I just realized 1 second into my career of being in public,
2 drops of red.
that I don't have any other gear than whatever's coming.
And this is really just going to be a dark blue. But what I like about this dark blue is when you bring it out to white, you get that kind of, I don't know what to call it, the snowy kind of white. It's a snowy kind of blue. It's a really nice, soft blue. So 5 drops of blue, 2 drops of red, and then dip that out into a cap of white. I think Eternal has an actual color like that, snow blue or something like that. It's really pretty.
They understand their likes for the first few seconds, and if they don't see what they like, they delete it and get back to the drawing board. I mean, like, we're living in a world where all of us are now public figures, and we know it, we're all on the record. It's changing our behavior. I remember
And we're just going to do that same, oh wait,
I started saying, am I just a new version of myself? Am I forcing?
I'm going to go for a really lime green
Like the things that came naturally to me, am I
with 5 drops of yellow to 1 drop of blue. That's going to give us a kind of a limey, kind of a darker army green, dark lime, I guess. Then you bring that one out to white just for fun. It's not much different than the original kind of yellowy green when you bring that out to white. Five drops of yellow to 1 drop of red. Probably what I should have done for the original orange, because this one's going to come out a little bit darker than our first orange. I tend to like the 5 drops of yellow to 1 dip of red rather than 1 full drop. That's almost double. Just seeing what it makes here. It's kind of a nice dark orange. Bring it out to white and get kind of a nice creamsicle type color. Should have put some music on for you guys. I'm sure this is boring as shit. Unless you're working along with the video just for fun. We're going to do another dark version up here. The first one just came out the really dark grass green, which works out to a nice seafoam when you do the white. Now we're going to go for a little more on the turquoise side. So that's 5 drops of yellow.
which is leaving money on the table. So, a couple examples for me. I get paid a lot of money to do public events and speak. I could make
And 10 drops of blue.
if I didn't curse in public when I do my speeches, I would be booked 3 to 5 times.
Probably going to need more blue in that mixture to get a good turquoise.
Real money. Like, more money than I made in a year, a decade ago, for an hour, right? But I just don't know how to do it. I have clients that I push in directions where I truly believe I will net out.
When you see my other hand come into frame, we're going to go ahead and add 5 other drops of blue. So this is going to be 15 drops of blue to 5 yellows. When you see my other hand come into frame, that's because my mixing hand is moving down the needle towards the desk. So I grab the top of the needle with the other hand to reposition my hand higher in order to go back down again. Just an inevitable part of mixing. Your hands will slide down like you're trying to set a fire. That's looking like a real nice dark turquoise. We're gonna mix that down to white. That should give you a pretty nice light version of turquoise.
They're like a year later, Degree deodorant. I shit you not, throughout the entire campaign called Do More.
The dark version could almost be called a super dark green. But it is pretty blue when you put it in the skin.
Fabricated, like scrubbed clean nonsense of like, what did Casey Neistat do? Okay, let's do a version of that where we fabricated this way. Instead of just actually sending someone to go jet skiing and police, like, let's just pretend to do that. And shoot it in LA on the back of the truck on a red Epic and stank it. And like, none of you have ever heard of some bullshit campaign by some fucking deodorant company. Like 15 million people saw it in my video.
Just a couple of dips into our dark version. Just have to keep going back and forth till you get the color that you like.
Especially on the kind of level that this guy does. The willingness the willingness to say no is essential to maintaining that sort of that authenticity. That is the long game. It's the only way to say no.
It's a little too light. We're actually going to put a drop of blue directly in there.
We'll start from a place of so start and say, okay, if nothing else, no matter what our product is, what our advertising campaign is, we're going to start from a place of first principles. There's a certain set of ideas and values that we believe in, and anything that we do,
2 drops of blue.
align with some of those, then we're not going to.
So 15 drops of blue to 5 drops of yellow. Mix that up, nice and dark. When you bring that over to the white, add 2 more drops of blue into the white. Now you're going to get a real nice, pretty turquoise. It's a real light version of turquoise. That one took me years to figure out. I don't know why, but turquoise was just a mystery to me for a long time.
So how do you keep a team that size? Jerry has many more people, but how do you keep a team that size to adhere to a set of principles and rules? But you realize, like,
All right, so it's not a perfect experiment, but hopefully it'll inspire you to get out some ink caps and mix some pigment up. Play with it. You don't need all these millions of bottles, primaries in white and black.